Refraction of light. When a beam of light encounters another transparent medium, the direction of propagation of an obliquely incident ray of light that enters the other medium changes at the interface of the two media. This phenomena is called refraction of light. You see in this figure, this is the incident light which encounters the transparent medium. This is suppose the transparent medium, it is the glass medium, and after suffering reflection on this surface, part of the light get reflected and part of the light will emerge through this transparent medium. You see in this figure, if the light is obliquely incident on the transparent medium, then the light will changes its path. This is the original direction of the light, so the light will change its path. The light direction, you see, the direction of light will be like this. But if the light will fall normally, then there will be no change of direction of the light in the transparent medium. So the direction of propagation of an obliquely incident ray of light that enters the other medium changes at the interface of the two media, and this property or phenomena is called the refraction of light. Snell experimentally obtained the following laws of refraction, that is the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal to the interface at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. You see in this figure, this is the incident ray and this is the refracted ray and this is the normal to the interface at the point of incidence. So all the three rays, incident ray, refracted ray and normal, they will lie on the same plane, in this plane. And the ratio of the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant. That is sin I by sin r is equal to n21, where n21 is called, it is a constant which is called the refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium. You see in this figure, this is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. And according to Snell's law, the ratio of the sine of the angle of incidence, that is the sin I, to the sine of angle of refraction, that is sin r, is equal to n21. You have to remember the following points. Number one, the refractive index depends on the characteristics of the pair of the media. That is the two media. The two media will change, then the refractive index will also change. The refractive index also depends on the wavelength of light. Number two, the refractive index is independent of the angle of incidence. Number three, when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. And number four, when light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. And number 5 point you have to remember, the optically density or the optical density should not be confused with the mass density. Optical density means the ratio of the speed of light in two media, and mass density is the mass per unit volume. For example, mass density of turpentine oil is less than that of the water, but the optical density of turpentine is more than that of water. Now you have to remember the sixth point, that is n12 is equal to 1 by n21, where n12 is the refractive index of the first medium with respect to the second medium. Then you have to remember 7 number of points. Point 7, that is the lateral displacement or lateral shift. What is lateral shift? You see this figure. Suppose this is a rectangular slab. This one is a rectangular slab, and refraction takes place at two interfaces. If light will come from this side and enters, passes through this side, then refraction will take place at two interfaces, at this interface and also at this interface. This interface is the air glass interface and this interface is the glass air interface. So here R2, you see, here R2 will be equal to I1. From geometry, you can see R2 will be equal to I1. And this is called the incident ray and this is called the emergent ray. And you see in this figure that the emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray. The emergent ray suffers lateral displacement. You see, this is the original direction of the incident ray and the emergent ray suffers lateral displacement. This is called the lateral displacement, or it is also called the lateral shift with respect to the incident ray. Another important point you have to remember, that is the apparent depth is equal to real depth divided by the refractive index, or refractive index is equal to real depth divided by the apparent depth. You see in this figure, suppose this is a point in a glass medium. Light coming from this point O, after when it moves through the to air at the interface, it will bend away from the normal. And if we produce the light in the back in this direction, then it will meet at the point O dash. So here O is the real object and O dash is the apparent object. So from N to O, this is called the real depth, and from N to O dash, this is called the apparent depth. Here also this is the apparent depth and this is the real depth. And we have to find out from geometry that the real depth divided by the refractive index is equal to the apparent depth. This is the angle of incidence. This is the angle of incidence I, and this will be also the angle of incidence I. And this is the angle of refraction R. This is R and this is I and this is I. Now you consider this right angle triangle. The right angle triangle O dash NP. In this right angle triangle O dash NP, sin I will be equal to Pn. You see, Pn divided by O dash P. Similarly, in the right angle triangle NPO, sin R will be equal to Pn divided by OP. So from Snell's law, n is equal to sin I by sin R. Sin I is equal to Pn divided by O dash P, and sin R is equal to Pn divided by OP, and Pn cancels, so it will be equal to OP divided by O dash P. But OP divided by O dash P will be equal to ON divided by O dash N, because since the angles are small, you can replace sin theta by tan theta. So if you take sin theta to tan theta, convert sin theta to tan theta, then OP will be equal to ON and O dash P will be equal to O dash N. So mu will be equal to ON divided by O dash N. ON is your real depth and O dash N will be the apparent depth. So refractive index N will be equal to real depth divided by apparent depth. The advanced sunrise and delayed sunset is due to the atmospheric refraction. Similarly, the apparent flattening, that is the oval shape of the sun at sunrise and sunset, is due to the atmospheric refraction. You see, this is your earth and this is the observer and this is the real sun. Light rays coming from this sun after suffering refraction will meet at here. So this will be the apparent position of the sun. Let us work out a problem. The earth takes 24 hours to rotate once about its axis. How much time does the sun take to shift by 1 degree when viewed from the earth? The time taken for 360 degree shift is equal to 24 hours. So the time taken for 1 degree shift will be equal to 4 minutes.